Hey guys, Drake here. Gonna show you my thief builds. Had a few people asking about them, so got bored and figured I'd make a video. I'm gonna go through my PvP one first. As you can see, the runes are the Spirit Rune of Dwayna. I know a lot of people say healing is kind of useless, but I'm actually doing it for the number 4 and 6 skills, where you gain regeneration, 5% chance to get it on when you get hit, and the 6th skill is you get regeneration when you heal, and that goes really well with withdraw. It's got a 15-second cooldown, so it's not too bad. On your weapons, you're gonna have sword and dagger. On sigils, I'm using Superior Sigil of Force and Superior Sigil of Energy. Same with my bow, the Superior Sigil of Energy, because that endurance is going to be really important. For traits, we go 20 into Deadly Arts. For the major traits, I do the backfighting, plus 50% damage all down. I don't plan on getting down, but if it happens, this helps for rally. Mug, that's personal preference for me. I like to use steel often, so dealing a bit extra damage is nice. Plus, there's not really much else in this tree that's going to help out. Next is acrobatics. This is probably the most important one. The 2 seconds of swiftness on evade helps out. This is actually probably one of my favorite ones. You get some of your endurance back every time you dodge, so this will turn you into a dodging machine. Increase damage when endurance is not full. My endurance will almost never be full, so this is really nice. And for the major traits, quick pockets. Whenever you switch weapon, you're gaining 3 initiative. That is really... it's gotten me out of so many situations. Whenever you use initiative, you're healing. It's Assassin's Reward. And you gain vigor when you heal. So now when we use withdraw, we're getting vigor and regeneration every 15 seconds. It's really nice. For trickery, we're going into 20, mainly for the increased initiative. Thrill of the Crime, gain swiftness, might, and fury whenever you steal. And initial strikes, which is you have a 7% chance to gain initiative when you're using your first weapon skill on any weapon. For utilities, like I said, withdraw is really important because, like I said, every time I'm using it, regeneration, vigor, really nice. Roll for initiative, that's going to give you your stun breaker, plus it's another evade, as well as gaining initiative for your other skills. Alternatively, if you don't want the initial strikes, I would recommend Trickster, just so that goes down to 48 seconds instead of 60. It's up to you. Shadow Step, really nice. It removes conditions when you revert back, so that it will save you a lot. I use that more often to remove conditions than anything else. Also Stunbreaker. And then Signet of Agility. A lot of people will pass this up for, what is it called? Assassin Signet or Signet of Shadows. I think this gets overlooked way too much. Its passive grants you increased precision, which for this particular build isn't too important, but its active refills all your endurance, and that is so important, as well as cures a condition. Like I said, with this you're going to be a dodging machine, and well, you can get off 3 dodges in 1 bar, fill it up, use your heal for some vigor, dodge again, and you can just dodge for days. It's really nice. And when you're in combat, you switch weapons, boom, you gain 50 endurance back, and just keep dodging. And bow's got a dodge on itself, number 3. Sword also on number 3. You got an evade. Sword also has the 2 skill, Infiltrated Strike and Shadow Return. Shadow Return also cures a condition. And for Elite, I use Thieves Guild. mainly for 1v1 fights. Um, you can go with Dagger Storm, but it's not a lot of condition or crits for this build, so it's not as helpful if you were, a glass cannon instead. So that's about that. I think I covered most of it. I'm gonna go ahead and show you my PvE build now. Alright, so this one is gonna be your typical glass cannon build. I personally don't use this for anything other than COF. It's gonna be dagger, shortbow. Obviously, you want Zerker gear. It's kind of, a given. I use Runes of the Eagle. More important part is the traits. I go 25 into Deadly Arts. For traits, Sundering Strikes, you're always going to be doing crits, so the extra vulnerability is pretty nice. And Dagger Training, get you that extra 5%, which will stack up quite nicely with your Heartseeker. 30 critical strikes, 20% extra damage when target's below 50%. A lot of people prefer Hidden Killer. With this, I've got 69% chance to crit, which is high enough, and then whenever I steal, it goes up by 20 because I gain Fury, so I don't feel the need for that trait. Critical Haste, 10% chance to gain quickness on a critical hit. And then Practice Tolerance, which is just 5% of your precision becomes Vitality, which will help in your papery build of crabbiness. 15 in Trickery for the increased initiative, as well, like I said earlier, Thrill of the Crime for that Fury, Might, and Swiftness. Hide in Shadows, obviously. Shadow Refuge, Blinding Powder, just to keep yourself alive, basically, as well as come out with a Backstab. Again, Signet of Agility. A lot of people will say to use Assassin's Signet. If this will help you survive, this is going to help you do the damage. It's really give or take. It doesn't matter. I prefer agility over anything else. And of course, Dagger Storm. That's about it for that. It's pretty obvious. I'm going to show you my usual build though now. Alright, this is my usual dungeon build. It's built more for survivability than anything else. You're not going to do the damage of the Zerker, obviously. If it's a dungeon I'm fairly acquainted with, I'll still run my Zerker accessories, but generally I have my PVT. So the soldiers' accessories, I always have Zerker armor. It'll help with damage. This obviously is going to help with survivability. Like I said, Zerker armor with the Runes of the Eagle. Traits. It's going to be 30 in Shadow Arts. For traits, you're going to pick up Shadow's Rejuvenation. Whenever you're stealth, you're going to be gaining health. Shadow's Embrace. Every 3 seconds stealth, you remove a condition. Self-explanatory. It's going to keep you alive for days. Shadow Protector. Whenever you do stealth, you're getting regeneration. If you stealth allies, they also get regeneration. So you're getting the regen boon plus the passive regen from this trait whenever you're stealth, which is really nice and works awesome with Hide in Shadows. 20 in Acrobatics. Again, like my PvP build, you're getting that 2 seconds of Swiftness on evade, as well as returning some of the endurance used, which will, again, go with Signet of Agility. Assassin's Reward, you get health when you use Initiative, and Fleet Shadow, so you move 50% faster while in stealth, because this build is based off stealth. Initial Strike under Trickery. Again, you get 7% chance to gain regen, to regen 1 initiative on a regular strike, and Thrill of the Crime. For this build though, I generally use Sword Dagger instead of Dagger. Just gives you more survivability with this evade, as well as the Shadow Step. For utilities, it's the same as the Zerker build really. Hide in Shadows, Shadow Refuge, Blinding Powder, Signet of Agility, Dagger Storm. But again, you're going to be able to dodge a lot. It's going to help you survive. You got swiftness, so you can be moving fast whenever. If you run out of swiftness, pop this, you're gaining health, losing conditions, and moving faster. It's gonna help you stay alive so long. Also, you can shoot out of the Shadow Refuge when it's still up to absorb some health. And I believe that's everything. Hope this helped some of you guys, and have a good one.